In BC and in Canada, the electoral system we use is called first past the post. And how this works is the province or country is divided into ridings, and the winner of all those ridings is then elected to the legislature or to parliament. The problem with this is the percentage of votes doesn't always translate to the same percentage of seats. For example, in the last provincial election in BC, the NDP got 47% of the votes, but got 65% of the seats, while the Green Party got 15% of the votes and only 2.3% of the seats. So usually the threshold for a majority government is around 40% or less. Stephen Harper got a majority government with around 39% of the popular vote. So first past the post gives 100% of the power to a party that receives 40% of the votes or less potentially. Proportional representation, on the other hand, is a system where the percentage of votes is translated into the same percentage of seats. There's different kinds of proportional representation, but in essence, that's how it works. And I'm not just saying we should have proportional representation because it benefits the Green Party. In the last federal election, the Conservatives actually won the popular vote over the Liberals with 34%. But with this, they would not have got a majority government. So if they wanted to pass anything, they would have had to work with the other parties to do so. Proportional representation also takes away the need for strategic voting, because in first past the post, if I lived in a riding which was a close call between the NDP and Conservatives, and I'm a Green supporter and I didn't want the Conservatives to win, then strategically I might vote for the NDP. So first past the post forces us to vote for a party that has the best chance of defeating a party we dislike the most instead of voting for our first party of choice. And that is a flawed democracy. So several countries around the world are already using proportional representation, including New Zealand, Germany, and Costa Rica. And it's shown that countries with proportional representation have higher voter turnout, which makes sense because if I lived in a riding that always went Conservative or always went NDP, then why would I bother voting? Because my vote isn't going to change the outcome of the results of my riding. And I'm not telling people not to vote. I think that everyone should vote, but I can see the apathy on why some people don't. There's also research to show that proportional representation increases representation of women and minority groups in government. So it bothers me that every election there are probably a lot of people that don't vote because they feel that their vote doesn't count. And I strongly believe that every vote should matter the same no matter where you live, no matter who you vote for, because that's how a democracy is supposed to work. And that's why the BC Greens support proportional representation.